Hey. My name's Erin, and this is my sewing notebook for Apparel Process 1 with Lindy Wilhelm. And I figured I'd preface my blog with a quick little intro video, talk about a few of my favorite things about apparel process and pattern making that I've learned so far. And the rest of the terms can be found on the blog, and you can, click through and click on an image and see it enlarge and, learn all about pattern tools and sewing making and fabrics and all the fun stuff. So I figured I'd just go through a few little things that I've liked so far and find interesting. So my first day of apparel process making, we were given these like huge scissors, shears I should say, shears. There is a difference. Shears have this long handle here, right? Scissors, the only other ones I have at the moment are these little snippers, which are super cute, but scissors only have two small little holes, whereas, shears, the ones I use now, which are a lot easier to carry around than these, although I did feel a little bit safer riding BART every morning with these in my purse. And the other cool little tool I find pretty nifty is the awl, which is always super handy when pattern making, to poke holes, not to be used on, your neighbor or someone who pisses you off, although, it could be used for that, but so if you ever were making a pattern and needed to show where your dart holes were, you would poke a hole through the paper as such, and that was a rather large one, so if you're being more careful than I just was, you would make it, a small little dart hole. Or, let's say you were, making patterns and you wanted to show the along the edge of wherever, you're making your dart manipulation, the lines from the apex point down to the edge of the pattern, you would use your awl to, drag a sharp pointed line, and that way you could fold your paper a little easier and everything. It's a pretty handy little device when pattern making. Another cool little nifty thing is the pattern notcher. Another thing that looks like it might rip out your teeth or something. But yeah, so when you're making patterns, you always want to indicate the center front of your garment, your shirt, your whatever it is you're making, with the pattern notcher. So one little snipper like this would show you the front of your garment. So when you're matching pieces together, so you have some intricate, crazy piece of fabric that you're trying to make, you know that the one little snip means the front. Two little snippers means the back of your garment. So that way, when you're making those puffy, cool little sleeves we just made in class, you know which one's the front and which one is the back. And last but not least, I will show you what the bobbin is. So when you are sewing, bobbin, this was kind of a pain in the ass to first learn how to thread your bobbin. I'll have you know that the first time I sat down to the sewing machines in AP1, I broke 3 needles. I think that might have been a record. And it was a complete disaster. I'm doing much better now, though. So here, here is the bobbin itself, which is the what holds your thread when you put it in the sewing machine. You always want to put in, enough. This side goes into the sewing machine first, and this is the bobbin case, which I don't know how much of this you can see, but when you put it together, you always, this is like a little bite mark here that you're going to catch it on. First you loop through that little groove, and then you come around here It's a little hard to show on a YouTube video. I apologize for this. And then the little teeth mark holds the thread, right? You always want to leave like about just a little bit extra so that when you put it into your sewing machine, you're gonna, I don't have an industrial sewing machine to show you how cool it is, but you know, when you put it in, you're just gonna pop it in as such, and then it'll make a little click noise, and you know, you just put your bobbin in correctly. So those are like the coolest of the tools of the trade. Except for the stapler. Stapler might be my most favorite discovery, I should say, about pattern making, because a stapler is not always as it seems. Stapler actually holds this secret special power. Every stapler comes with this little lever here, alright? Press the lever. Opens it! Oh my god. That's actually not what I was going to show you, but it is kind of cool. So, then you see this little, like, face here, right? And if you press the button right behind it, you're going to make that little anthropomorphic emoticon that you usually would send people if you're angry at them online, you know? Spin that little guy around until it pops itself back in like that. Close up your stapler, staple as such, and oh my god, it's an inverted stapler. Wow! So, first time I learned this, my mind was blown. Because, like, why would you need to do this? If you have two pieces of paper and you're making a pattern, you would want to put two pieces together, right? And you wouldn't want to leave a big marker hole when you're gonna remove the stapler, but you need to keep them together. So you can just easily remove without any need for a staple remover. Pretty freaking cool, right? Right? So now you've learned all about awls and weapons and shears and bobbins and like notchers. Yeah, so the rest of the cool little nifty things you can read about in my blog below. Just, you know, scroll down, click around, enjoy yourself. And, yeah, thank you for viewing.